It was more difficult to use the feeble human's weapons than Kzamanarch had imagined. The first exogren that he threw rolled out of the side of his high-powered mechanized arms and landed too near to the Major for his comfort. He would have much preferred to use his potent magic to lift the barriers off their reinforced hinges and throw them through the fence and cartwheeling into the surrounding pristine apple green and violet forest. He had a task to perform, however, and it called for patience. With a strong grating and cracking sound, the armoured portal was finally breached with the third heavy grenade. Kzamanarch leapt into the downward sloping corridor. The surveillance array at the entrance transmitted the image of General Harlach, who sometimes operated alone. He was once asked if he required heavy armoured vehicles for a dangerous mission he was undertaking in the last world conflict. He was quoted as saying, "They would only slow me down." Automatic laser defense systems lit up the air from a multitude of angles. Kzamanarch dealt with them with his copy of the Revancha. The laser battle between he and the hydraulically mounted heavy lasers lasted for only a few seconds. The imposter was able to hold down the trigger to the deep black-lensed weapon for 3 seconds at a time. The silence of the defensive corridor was only broken by Kzamanarch's heavy armoured footsteps and the crackling sparks that emanated freely from the fused automated weapons. The corridor stretched for about 70 meters in front of the Major traitor. It was lit by many uniformly spaced orange bars of light. Deafening alarms were ringing out over the entire area. Kzamanarch had been careful not to destroy any of the surveillance cameras when he was dealing with the laser defenses. A team of 8 Gaul tunnel rats was responding to the security breach. They were armoured in a lightweight version of the standard Gaul infantry plate in high-grade Utopium alloy and armed with modern-looking bullpup format assault rifles with built-in scopes. This particularly favoured unit was employing enchanted electropulse ammunition. These bullets generated a short, high-tension jolt of electricity a moment after impact. This would usually lead to irreparable internal trauma, heart palpitations, and death. Darkened shadows drew across several of the bands of amber-coloured light in the metal-walled tunnel. 4 of the tunnel rats gave 5-round burst-covering fire to the other 4, who rolled forward and diagonally in a pre-rehearsed combat drill. Kzamanarch wasted no time. Some of the electrical discharge bullets had struck his newly replicated armour, but none had penetrated it. He used the Revancha like a fire hose. In 3 strokes he had painted a black line of destruction through all 8 specialized Gaul soldiers. They and several areas of the wall that some of them had sheltered behind fell smoking in neatly severed and cauterized segments onto the cold subterranean floor. Kzamanarch marched further down into the facility. He came to a large illuminated panel set in the wall of an intersection in the corridor. It was covered in buttons marked with unusual symbols. Kzamanarch closed his eyes, and with the casting of a simple silent spell, a third eye formed and opened in the center of his forehead.